I sat in the lawyer's office 3 days after burying my husband Levi, the air heavy with old leather and a silence that parched my throat. My son Wade fidgeted like a guilty child, while his wife Sloane crossed her legs, brushing imaginary lint from her designer skirt. I still wore my black funeral dress, grief raw and unprocessed. Mr. Kent read Levi's will in a flat monotone. To my beloved wife, Mildred, I leave the ranch on Millstone Ridge. Before he could continue, Sloane sighed dramatically. Oh, for heaven's sake, she muttered. Just take that rundown place and go live out your golden years pretending to be a pioneer. Wade said nothing, hands folded, silent. This was the boy I'd raised with lullabies and handmade clothes. Now he abandoned me. The rest, our home, bank accounts, investments, went to Wade and Sloane. Sloane stood with a smirk. I guess that settles it. Take your little ranch and go live alone. Maybe the isolation will help you reflect on where you failed as a mother. I didn't argue or cry. Understood, I said, clutching my purse, and walked out. They thought they'd exiled me with nothing. But a week later, I'd uncover something in that ranch's basement that made my phone ring 62 times. I wouldn't answer. The ride home hummed with Betrayal's whisper, settling in my ribs, making everything unfamiliar. Wade didn't walk me to the car. Sloane waved dismissively. Her words echoed. Failed as a mother. 40 years I'd stood by them. Through layoffs, surgeries, unpaid bills. I'd been the glue, working double shifts at the diner for Wade's braces and college. Now, I was a burden with a worthless ranch. At home, Levi's cologne lingered, sandalwood and coffee. His last breath haunted the bedroom. I didn't belong anymore. I packed alone. Photos, quilts, the kitchen clock, cluttered as Sloane. No help from Wade, no visits from grandchildren. Sloane had erased me from their future. As I drove away, boxes piled high, I glimpsed Sloane at the window, satisfied. That hardened me. They'd written me out of their story, but endings can rewrite themselves. The road to Millstone Ridge was gravel and potholes. I hadn't visited in years. Levi inherited it from his grandfather, but called it too much work, too many ghosts. The house emerged, peeling paint, crooked porch, hanging shutter. But it was mine through rejection. The key hid under the third porch board. Inside, dust-blanketed sheeted furniture, faded curtains, time scent in the floorboards. Exile. I sank into an armchair by the fireplace, silence pressing. No longer wife, mother, helper, just Mildred. Who was she? Days blurred in cleaning, wiping windows until my arms ached. Grief needed motion. In the kitchen pantry, a loose board revealed a metal box, yellowed letters tied with twine, signed Elena. Maps, photos, notes. The name caught my breath. Levi's grandfather, Samuel Taylor. The Spanish letters from the 1940s brimmed with passion and secrets. Land surveys, mineral veins. The copper runs deep. Not metaphors, evidence. Elena wrote of claims, a bureau, a shared dream, secrecy, a tunnel. I took them to Ruth Harmon, Levi's old Sunday school teacher, who disliked Sloane. Her eyebrows rose. Oh, honey, you found what Sam buried. She explained, pre-war, Sam obsessed over mineral claims, copper, silver. After Elena's death, he became reclusive. Rumors faded. Back home, I rifled Levi's grandfather's desk. Bureau of Land Management files, survey maps. A folder labeled Assay Reports screamed, economically viable copper reserves across 73% of Millstone Ridge. My hands shook. The mocked ranch was a copper mine. In the bedroom closet, behind a false panel, an oilcloth-wrapped envelope held 1970s to recent geological reports, drill samples, soil analyses, feasibility studies. Bold. High-grade copper ore, projected substantial yield over a 20-year period. A letter from Southwestern Mining, 6 months before Levi's death. $2 million upfront lease plus royalties. Unanswered. At the bottom, Levi's note. Mildred deserves better than what I gave her. This is her chance to live the life she put aside for Wade and me. Don't let that woman ruin it. He knew Sloane's cruelty, hid this from her. I sat amid millions-worth documents, recalling clipped coupons, struggles for Levi's meds, co-signing Wade's loans for a house barring me. Now, The cast-off ranch made me powerful. I didn't call the company immediately. I walked the ridge at sunset, questioning. Ready to stop sacrificing? By the old windmill, yes. I'd take control. Phone calls began. Wade, Sloan, repeat. I ignored. Their voicemails shifted from hang-ups to feigned concern. Wade's truth. Financial hiccup. Taxes up. Sloan wants remodel. Need $50,000 short-term. Like pocket change after my years scraping by. I waited till morning, papers spread, lease beside coffee. I called Wade. He answered eagerly. Mom, thank God. I've been busy. We said things we didn't mean. Grief hit hard. She told me to play farmer, that I failed as a mother. Not grief, cruelty. She didn't mean it. How then? Pause. We're sorry, but we're in a tough spot. Are you happy with her? Hesitation. She has high standards. I pressed. It's about the mining lease. I've signed. Millions by next month. Silence then. Serious? Tone shifted. Merge properties, share investments, build me an apartment near grandkids. 3 weeks ago, you exiled me. Now, millions and you want me close. We want what's best. Know for yourselves. I'm no backup. Relationship starts with respect, not need. I hung up, empowered. The contract signed on a crisp Thursday. In a new Navy pantsuit, I met Patricia Wells, mineral rights attorney. She reviewed clauses, royalties, land use. Favorable, you're strong. Signing closed self-sacrifice chapter. I became landowner, businesswoman, self. $4 million hit my account in 2 weeks, royalty soon. I hired an advisor, paid bills, donated to a women's shelter. Back at the ridge, I renovated intentionally, kept beams, fireplace, added efficient windows, solar panels, plumbing, internet. Reading nook. I took photography classes, documented seasons, bought hiking boots, day tripped. Studied geology to know my land's worth. Wade called reflectively. Sloan moved out. Kids miss me. Therapy on boundaries. I didn't rush, but called back when he shared Emma's honor roll. Not bitter, free. 6 months later. Porch mornings with coffee. Sunrise over hills. Mine hums distantly, but transformations in me. I'm Mildred Taylor. Landowner, grandmother, survivor. Author of my story.